The Black Box ToolKit is a device which enables behavioural researchers to improve the millisecond timing accuracy of their computer-based experiments. In this short video we show you the what, the why and the how. Computers used to be the size of rooms. When they got smaller, we used them to model human behaviour. Then some bright spark suggested the human brain worked just like a computer. The search was on to find out how your brain worked. Things started simply. Then researchers started to use computers to run experiments. They quickly started to develop specialist hardware to hook up to their new computers. When computers got cheaper, researchers started to use commercial off-the-shelf systems, just like the ones we buy in the local supermarket. We hooked up this supermarket bought equipment to eye trackers, EEG machines and multi-million-dollar MRI scanners. The question is, does using off-the-shelf hardware compromise the validity of your results? We think it does, and we can show you why. Input lag. Each display device has different input lag. Imagine the same monitor cable is split into three and an experiment generator displays an image. In the real world, the image will appear at different times due to input lag. All the experiment generator knows is the time it sent the image to appear on screen. When it physically appeared will vary significantly. Even if the participant responds at exactly the same time on each device, the response times recorded by the experiment generator will differ because they are recorded from the time the image was sent to the screen and not from the time when the image physically appeared. The amount of input lag is unique to each device and is caused by its electronics and any image processing done by the display device itself. This simple illustration shows you might not be carrying out the experiment you think you are. To find out more, Google input lag. Sound card startup latency. Every sound card has a different startup latency. This is a difference between requesting a sound be played and when it is audible at the speakers. In this example, three different sound cards will play the same tone after 500 milliseconds. As you'll have noticed, there was a definite lag. The time the experiment generator requested the tone be played isn't always the same as the time it was audible at the speakers. True response times can also be affected, as humans can only respond to when the actual sound was audible. Response times are likely to be incorrect as the experiment generator only knows about the time the sound was requested to be played and not the time it was audible at the speakers. As this simple illustration shows, the effect is very similar to input lag on display devices. Again, you might not be carrying out the experiment you thought you were. To find out more, Google sound card startup latency. Response device latency. Any response device we use adds its own latency to the true response time. This is because response devices detect button presses in what is known as a polling loop. Some devices have very tight polling loops which can detect button presses and transmit them quickly. Others are much sloppier and take longer to detect button presses and transmit results. An experiment generator only registers a response when it receives information from the response device. It knows nothing of the true response time, even if that occurred at the same time on each device. So not only may you be presenting stimuli inaccurately, you may also be measuring responses with added latencies. To find out more, Google keyboard response latency. Guaranteeing accuracy and your ability to replicate. In the past, to check the timing accuracy of your experiments, you would need to make use of oscilloscopes, photodiodes, function generators, and physically tap into response devices. By contrast, the Black Box ToolKit lets you quickly and easily check your own timing using external sensors such as optodetectors and high sensitivity microphones. As well as being able to send and receive TTL signals, the Black Box ToolKit can also respond using its robotic key actuator, so it can press the button of your own response device or respond on an iPad or other touch screen. Simple wizards make it easy to use. Here I'm going to respond to a visual event and after 300 milliseconds send out a TTL signal and simultaneously send out a tone that will trigger my voice key. In this example, the toolkit will generate a tone 300 milliseconds after the appearance of a visual stimulus. This tone will trigger our voice key and our experiment generator will record a response time. Once a toolkit has automatically stepped through your experiment, the exact millisecond timings for all events will be presented in our PC software. This shows the raw data, any input or output line changes, and finally a 20-channel logic analyzer is displayed. The logic analyzer lets you use measurement cursors to check the timing between any two or more events. Outputs are shown in red and inputs are shown in green. By comparing what the toolkit saw and what your experiment generator presented and recorded, you can quickly work out your level of timing accuracy. Using TTL signals, the toolkit works seamlessly with eye trackers, EEG and MRI machines. It doesn't matter how simple or complex your experiment is, the toolkit will help you improve your accuracy and therefore your ability to replicate. Improve your accuracy by truly measuring what is happening and tighten the precision of your research. To always be on target, use a Black Box ToolKit to self-validate your research before publication.